Nothing but great things in that quarterback room as a whole. Obviously very competitive just because that's how we are all in, like, just naturally. But definitely we always bounce things off each other as far as, like, ideas, like what we're seeing. If I'm in or if Beau's in and I'm in, I'm asking him, like, what do you see? Why did he go that? Why did he do that check? And vice versa. So it's just a lot of communication, and then whoever's out there on the field at the time we're supporting, because obviously we want to see the offense do well no matter who's in. For me personally, I'm going to be more of a game-by-game guy just because I never want to look too far into the future or too far into the past. So just kind of going with Coach Franklin, that 1-0 mentality, want to give us the best chance possible at the end of the.
What's up, guys? Welcome into the Next Up podcast. I'm Adam Breneman. We're on campus at Penn State today, actually on Coach Franklin's balcony, practice field behind us, doing a little Penn State season preview series of podcasts with coaches, players, everything you need to know about Penn State football going into the season, happening right here over the next few days on my YouTube channel. Before we get to the interviews, please subscribe to this channel, whether you're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify. Press that subscribe button. All your support allows us to travel around the country and have some of the best guests in the country in college football on this show. So please, guys, support the channel. Let's go talk to the guys. Before we get into the pod, I have a crucial message for Penn State fans and a big announcement that was just made. Let's start with the good news. The good news is we have the best fan base in college football at Penn State. But here's the reality of the situation we're in right now. Penn State football is behind when it comes to NIL, and we shouldn't be. With our support, with our community, we should be the leader in the country when it comes to NIL support for our football program. That's what we need to win a national championship. That's why myself and Mercury just teamed up with Happy Valley United, Penn State football's official NIL collective, to launch the Race to 107 campaign with the goal of raising $107,000 for Penn State football NIL before the season begins. That's why I'm challenging all Penn State fans to give at least $50 to the Race to 107 campaign in support of Penn State football NIL. With the power of our community, with the fan support we get on Saturdays, there's no reason we shouldn't crush this goal out of the water. Go to happyvalleyunited.com/107 or click that link below to give your support today. We are Next Up. Feeling good, Tom?
All right, Ed. All right. You don't get 75 minutes this time.
Well, I was going to say, I think I'm out of questions for you. Like, we just got to have a conversation now because I don't know what else. I've asked you during our podcast, I think, like every question I could possibly ask you.
Yeah.
I think I'm out. I don't know what to talk about. So we'll start with this. How you feeling?
Hey, ask him about that throw he made then.
Yeah. That throw in the middle of the field, the seam ball, you know what I'm talking about?
The Dre?
The Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt good?
It felt really good. I think just throughout the whole camp, we built a really good rapport with all the receivers, especially the older guys. Dre's had a really good camp so far, continuing to be the leader of that room too, one of the more vocal leaders in that room. He's doing a really good job right now, and so are all the other receivers.
Yeah. Give me a kind of synopsis, state of the union on the offense right now. How you feeling? You were 8 practices in now. How you feeling about the group as a whole?
Yeah, I think we're doing really good right now. I think the biggest thing for us is just staying consistent with everything we're doing, making sure our energy levels are always up. Even if the defense gets us on a play or a period, we have to be able to bounce back and not get too high, not get too low. And I think we've done a better job of that since the start of camp. And I think we'll be very well balanced. That's one of our goals as a whole offense, to be able to run the ball when we need to run the ball, but able to drop back at the same time. And I think we have a lot of different varieties in our offense. We can get to a lot of different personnel groupings that can really just mess with the defense and their adjustments.
Yeah. How's Theo Johnson look? He looked good out there today.
Yeah. Theo's been doing really good so far. I mean, it's great having him on the field. Big target, just like Tyler Warren, big target, but they're both very athletic. They can go up and make a play on the ball, make tough contested catches, and also do very well in the run game too. So that helps out everything, and they're just very well versed in everything. Yeah.
What's the one area you feel like you've improved the most from maybe spring ball to now halfway through training camp?
Yeah, I would say one of the biggest, the 2 biggest things is just comfort level. Again, it's like 4th time going through the offensive installs. A little bit different from the first 3 times, but pretty much the same base offense. So it's a lot more familiar. So it was a lot more like just picking up on defensive tendencies now at pre-snap instead of worrying about my read and things like that. And also, I think just anticipation, I think that came with over the summer. Like spring, it's hard to get a lot of extra work in with receivers just because of the class schedule, and then the spring ball schedule is very demanding. So this summer, we were able to get a lot of good work in, pretty much like 3 or 4 times a week where we're throwing, and I think that really helped all of us in the long term, and it's paying off right now.
How much easier is this training camp for you than your first one?
It's definitely a lot easier. Yeah, for sure, a lot easier.
You have a favorite play of training camp so far? The play of camp for you?
I don't know. I mean, one of my favorites today was the seam throw you mentioned, the Dre, just because of it was the ideal coverage we wanted in that particular look, and Dre was kind of our only option at that point just because of all the leverage on the other routes, what they were giving us, and it was just great to get that completed and get that on tape.
Yeah. Take me through a typical training camp day for you now, routine-wise. Give the fans kind of the morning to night. What's going on?
All right, I'll just walk through today. So today, I mean, I was probably up at like 6:30. Yeah, 6:30. I was probably in the building at 7, watching yesterday's practice with a couple coaches, just going through notes from that, seeing what we can improve on. And then we had offensive meetings, and then we had an offensive lift after the defense lifted. So then that ended around 11. Got lunch. Started an exam, or was finishing up an exam that was due tonight. So I was finishing that up during lunch. Then we had team meeting at 1, so I was getting ready for that around like 12:30. Practice from basically 1 to 5:45.
It's a long one.
Yeah. And then headed over to Pollock, got some food. Finished up my exam, submitted it, so hopefully that part goes well, and then just came back here, buzzed the film a little bit because we got meetings later today.
Yeah, had to stop in here and do this.
Yep.
Right? Of course, that's sweet. Yeah, it's a long day, man. And now with classes over, this is when the grind starts.
Yeah, this is when the grind starts for sure.
Yeah. You mentioned the receivers, talked about Theo. Who are some of the other guys on the offense and then to the defense that have kind of flashed and impressed you during camp so far?
Guys, here's the reality. It is summertime. Summertime means more fun, more ladies, more time on the beach. And what's crucial during that time? You have to look good, top to bottom, literally. The way I make sure I'm looking good and fresh and light every day in the summer is with Manscaped. The Performance Package 4.0 has me feeling my best. Last time I was at the pool about 2 weeks ago, I had the shirt off, my face was clean, I was groomed well below, and my confidence was at an all-time high, and it paid dividends for me. Here's why I love the Performance Package 4.0. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you could ever need to keep you looking your best. It comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and even a travel bag to hold all your tools. Trust me, guys, you don't want to miss out on this bundle. So guys, go to manscaped.com and use my code ADAMB for 20% off and free shipping to get what you need to be feeling good this summer. That's code ADAMB at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. And guys, supporting the sponsors of this podcast like Manscaped helps support me and allows me to do this podcast every week for all of you. So go to manscaped.com, use my code ADAMB for 20% off and free shipping.
You mentioned the receivers, talked about Theo. Who are some of the other guys on the offense and then to the defense that have kind of flashed and impressed you during camp so far?
Yeah, I think offensively, just from a skill standpoint, Amari Evans, Caden Saunders, and Cephas have done a really good job right now. Amari and Caden are both playing with a high level of confidence just because, similar to me, they're both early enrolled, so this is their 4th time through the installs too, so they're playing with a lot more anticipation and speed, not second-guessing themselves. And then Cephas, still nailing things down with him, like just in terms of the offensive style we want him in, but he's doing a good job picking it up right now, and he's going to do some good things for us this year. And then defensively, I mean, everybody knows about Chop and Adisa, Abdul, Curtis, and Kalen, but I think Cam Miller and Johnny Dixon have done a really good job at corner so far. Jay Reed at safety, along with Keaton and KJ. And then Denine Dennis Sutton, again, I mean, he's just making plays all over the field, whether it be in run game or pass game. Yeah. So there's a lot of younger guys and a lot of older guys that are going to take the next step and really help this team this year.
How important has it been for you, this camp, to kind of the offense lost a lot of leaders, right?
Yes.
You lose Sean Clifford, you lose a lot of guys who were kind of career-long leaders for this program. How important is it for you to kind of take on a leadership role, and how do you go about doing that when you haven't started a game yet, but you can be a leader by how you act, how you carry yourself every day? How do you balance that?
Yeah, that's my main goal right now. Obviously, just because you can't really be to me, you can't be the vocal leader of the team until you kind of go out and prove it on a game-to-game basis.
No one wants the guy who doesn't play to be
that's for sure. Yeah. So I just try to lead by example the best I can, especially in the quarterback room, just helping out Jackson and the two new quarterbacks that got onto campus, just helping them out in any way I can, because I know a lot of things are flying at them right now at high speed. So just trying to bring them along with us, and offensively just trying to be the same guy every day, being consistent, bringing more of the energy, like getting guys ready to go out and play, especially just bouncing back. I think that's going to be the biggest thing for us as an offense this year, because not everything's going to go the way we want it, but we need to have that ability to bounce back and go out and correct it the next time we have the chance.
We just talked to Beau. What's it been like sharing the room with him, and just kind of, number one, the competition you guys have and how that increases the intensity of everything, but also just kind of having him as a guide to, you guys came in together, you guys are close, kind of being able to bounce things off each other, have that friendship, but also have the competitive aspect of it? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's nothing but great things in that quarterback room as a whole. Obviously very competitive, just because that's how we are all in, like, just naturally. But definitely we always bounce things off each other as far as like ideas, like what we're seeing. If I'm in or if Beau's in and I'm in, I'm asking him like what do you see, why did he go that, why did he do that check, and vice versa. So it's just a lot of communication, and then whoever's out there on the field at the time we're supporting, because obviously we want to see the offense do well no matter who's in.
I've been asking everyone of the 4 core values at Penn State, which one's your favorite and why?
To me, probably sacrifice, just because in order to achieve goals, whether it be individually or as a team, there's a level of sacrifice that needs to come into play, whether it be very simple things you need to give up, like just going to bed earlier, getting off video games like a half hour earlier, studying an extra 30 minutes, or be major things like just changing bad habits that you're used to, or whatever the case may be. But I think to get to your ultimate goals, there needs to be an amount of sacrifice in your day-to-day life to help you achieve that goal.
At the end of the season, for yourself personally and for the team, how will you define success? How will you say this was a successful year for us?
I think it's just going to, for me personally, I'm going to be more of a game-by-game guy, just because I never want to look too far into the future or too far into the past. So just kind of going with Coach Franklin, that 1-0 mentality, want to give us the best chance possible at the end of the week when Saturday is about to kick off, to go out and have the best chance to go out and be 1-0 that week, and just keep stacking those. So doing whatever we can throughout the week to get extra recovery time in, extra practice time in, and just extra film study to really break down the defense.
What's the relationship like in camp, and how great has it been to have guys like Coach Yurcich to be with every day, and then also Coach Franklin, who played quarterback, who you can kind of go to and for advice. I know you guys have a close relationship. What's it been like with those two guys just throughout training camp to support you? Yeah,
I mean, we're with each other every day. Coach Franklin's always in our quarterback rooms, and obviously Coach Yurcich is always leading our quarterback meetings. And I think it's great to have a bunch of different perspectives in that room. It definitely helps us out, and we can ask any questions in that room. There's no dumb questions ever in this facility. So, we always just asking for advice, like what they think, like asking for their opinion on like just certain run checks, or like how to talk to the receivers, like how we want them to run routes, or whatever the case may be. So just constant communication with those two guys has been really key to the whole quarterback room.
I love it, man. Well, I'm excited to see you this year. I know it's going to be a big year, and appreciate you doing round 2 of the pod, man. We'll be round 3. I'll call Greg next week. We'll get you on again.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.